Hi Stampers, this is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, coming to you today with a new 3D project. I call this my mini triangle box, and if you see the ends there, you can see that the box is triangular and it has a belly band that slides right off, and then you open the flap, and then there's a little thumb place for you to help you pull out that inside flap. And then look inside, I've got all my cookies and cream kisses. You love those? I love those. Those are my favorites. And then that's a great place for the flap to go in, and it holds the box closed, and then you're going to put that belly band back on like that. So it's a really very easy box to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But before I do that, I'm going to get this belly band back on somehow. Come on, there we go. All right, so let me show you the suite I used to make this. I'm a demonstrator, and I love to make customer thank you gifts for my customers when they purchase with me. And being the summer, I thought this would be a great suite to use. And the suite I chose is called Tropical Escape Suite. And it's very summery, very tropical, very island Hawaii type suite. And it has a beautiful color palette and beautiful images in the stamp set called Tropical Sheep. And then it has the corresponding framelits. Buy those together and you get a 10% discount on that. And then another wonderful part of the suite is this gorgeous 6x6 designer series paper. Such beautiful paper. Stampin' Up always outdoes himself in the paper department. So that's something else that I really love in this suite. So I saw this and I thought, well, this is going to be during the summer that they're going to be getting these gifts. So I thought it was a great time to put together the box using this suite. So let me show you how I did it. It's not that hard, and with a little bit of practice, you'll get really great at it. All right, so what you need to start out with is a piece of powder pink designer series paper, and it's cut at a 8-inch square. Okay, so then what you're going to need is your scoreboard. My scoreboard. All right, so I'm going to get my scoreboard, and we're going to score this piece of cardstock. Let me turn it this way. If you're a big paper crafter, you love to make three-dimensional projects, this is a piece of equipment you really need to have in your craft room, because it really helps you make great creases and folds in all your boxes. All right, so the first side of our 8-inch square, we are going to score at 2 inches and 6 inches. All right, 2 and 6. Then we're going to rotate it. And on the second side, we're going to go at 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, now, before we take it off the scoring board, we're going to put a little tick mark at the 4-inch mark on that side. Then we're going to turn it to the opposite side. Here's my first tick mark. So we're going to the opposite side, and we're going to put a little tick mark at the 4-inch mark there. All right. Now the reason we're doing that is because we are going to make the score marks for the triangular pleat that we're going to need to make. And how we do that is we're going to now bring in our ruler, and you'll notice that there's a square right here where that tick mark is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to put that where the tick mark is, and then right down to the corner of that square, and I'm going to draw a score mark. Going to do the same thing on the other side at the 4-inch tick, and then down to the corner of that square. So you're already going to be able to see the triangle we're making. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. There's my tick mark, and now I'm going to make my triangle score. First on one side, then I'm going to go from the tick mark to the corner on the other. Okay, so now I've got the two triangles pointing outwards on opposite sides of your box. All right, now it's time to bring in the bone folder, and we're going to go ahead and crease all our score lines. As I've said on other ones of my videos, this it's great to have a bone folder that you can use to crease all those score lines, because when you do that, you have a much better chance of having a box that goes together very nicely. So first thing I do is I score all the original marks that I made on my scoring board. Okay, now you're going to notice I still have to score and crease on those triangle scores. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold my box over a little bit so that it creases right on that score mark I made. Same thing over here. We want that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to notice as the box starts coming together that this is going to be the area that is going to crease and fold so it looks like a triangle, because we're really not going to have a triangular box, and I'll show you how that goes. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off this small rectangle on every corner of my paper. So if you look at your paper, you're going to notice at every corner there is a thin little rectangle. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut all of those off. Okay, so there. Now I've done that. So this is what we have now. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my paper corner rounder, and I'm going to round the corners of the two tabs. One of these is going to fold over the box and the other one is going to fold in the box. So let's go ahead and we're going to take our corner rounder and we're going to round each of these corners. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. All right, we round those corners because for the ones that are outside, it'll give it a nice, neater look. And for the ones that tuck inside, it'll make it easier to tuck inside the box. Now, this is going to be our side that's going to tuck in the box. So if you remember in the box that I made, you'll notice there was a little kind of a finger hole that you can kind of stick your finger down in there to help you pull open the box. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this box. Okay, this one is going to be the one that has the finger hole. I'm going to take my 1/2 inch circle punch and I'm going to just eyeball it and go right to the center of that strip. Okay, so now we have our little finger hole there. Now we have just a couple more snips and we're going to be ready to build. All right, now let's hold it so that the flap with the hole cut out is facing upwards. Okay, now we're going to take our paper snips and we are going to cut up the 2 score lines that are right beside our inside flap. Okay, so we go up the vertical score lines to the first horizontal. Then we're going to turn this side and we're going to do the same thing. Up the vertical sides to the horizontal score line. Now, to help the box sides fit better, I always like to take a little bit out, a little wedge of paper off each of the sides that are going to be tucking behind the sides of the box. These are just the flaps. We're not going to see these. These are going to be inside the box. So if we take a small bit off, they're going to fit nicer and they're going to close more smoothly. All right, so I've got one more flap. All right, there we go. All right, our cutting is done. I'm going to put away my scissors. Now it's time to put it together. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it face down, which means the inside of the box is face down against my work surface. Then I'm going to take some tear and tape. I've used tear and tape on lots and lots of my 3D projects because it is a great tape. Oops, there's a little wedge still sticking in there. and it holds so well when I put them together that you can tell with this triangle box, I had bunches and bunches of kisses inside, and it was able to hold on to it. So there, I'm putting 2 strips of the tear and tape on each of the flaps. All right, so let's go ahead and take the strips off 2 of the flaps. So let's take that one. And let's take that off this one. If I had some fingernails, I'd be dangerous. There we go. And come on, there we go. All right, now we're gonna construct it just as if it was a regular box. We're gonna take this flap, we're gonna bend it down, and then we're going to put it behind this side of the box, just like that. Same thing over here. We're gonna flap it down and put it behind the box. Okay, so there's the inside of my box there. All right, so we do the same exact thing on the other side. Okay, we're gonna take the tear and tape off the flaps. There we go, 2. And 2 more to peel off. All right. Okay, now we're gonna, again, bend that flap down and secure right behind the side of the box. Same thing here. We are making sure that the fold on my flap comes up right directly against the side of the box. Okay, now it still looks like a regular box, but because we put those special triangle creases on the side, we can squeeze it together at the top, fold in our one flap, and you get the triangular effect. So this box really isn't a triangle, it's really a square, but because of the way that we folded the sides, it appears to be a triangle box. Then we're gonna fold over our top flap, and I'll show you with the box that I made here. We fold over the top flap, and then we can go ahead and slide on the belly band. So that's how you make those. And of course, if you change up the dimensions or the length, you can make them at all different sizes. I've made them big enough to put a pen in them. So it's really, really an easy project and an easy pattern that you can modify. Now, if you want to have the details about how I made the embellishments on my box, you can go to my blog at thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com. Thanks again for joining me, and if you have any questions, please comment below. Take care.